what's happening for 2024 in our 5-day classes and also online, because I don't know if you know, but our WordPress online school, one of the plugins got unplugged, so it didn't work anymore. So before we plugged it all in again, I thought it'd be a good idea to rewrite it and update it, because we put it there for lockdown and much has happened in the world of perfumery, and part of it is the whole UN working towards everything being sustainable. So I've looked much more about which materials are going to be usable until, well, preparing for 2030. But you can't start too soon, Arthur. I don't think you can start too soon.
Yeah.
You also can't tart too soon either. Can't speak. So we're actually running this next week here, and in March and in August, although March is nearly sold out, and we'll probably do it next year. So people sit around this very table, use these very materials, and get as much practice as they possibly can, you know, like proper intense, you are not escaping this room until you've made something kind of perfumery. And you know, I've written a book on skills. I need to put some extra bits in, like these are the kits that you need to buy. Well, because when people get here, it's here. But I forgot to write that in the book because they're here. So I'm going to include that in the course as well, which I'm currently rewriting. And then formulas based on our cloud system. So that by the time people have spent 5 days working on the planetary system, assessing lots of materials, making lots and lots and lots of little accords. I mean, this course can basically run for a year if you want it to, 2 years if you want it to. You're never going to run out of materials, and you're never going to run out of combinations of materials to make, as you know, because we do it every week. Short formulas for people to practice on, and then they can make them longer if they want to, if they feel there are gaps in them. And
who's it for?
It is for anybody who is considering doing this as a serious hobby, because you know, you can, if you do a 1-day course, if you just fancy a little dabble. Perfumery is not cheap. There are a lot of hobbies you can take up that are just going to cost some money, and perfumery is quite expensive. Some of the materials are pretty expensive, and you need a fair amount of kit. So if you're looking for something to get yourself a skill that isn't going to cost much at all, get a pencil and a nice sketch pad. And sometimes, honestly, no kidding, I wish I'd chosen that. And I think when I retire, I'll do that. Because, you know, I've got myself into this, and I'm always, oh, I'd like to try that, and it's how much? So that happens. But then if people do this, I'm going to recommend the basic, I think it's like 33 materials. You can make a lot of different things with those. You don't have to have a 500 bottle perfumer's organ to get stuck in. Hobbies. There's nothing wrong with having a hobby just because you love a hobby. It's a very British thing to do. Now, everybody's granddad pretty much had a thing that they did in the shed that was their passion. They work and then they do the thing in the shed. Build stuff out of matchboxes or whatever it was, you know, fix clocks. Everybody used to have a hobby, and I do not think that's a terrible thing. You don't have to want to turn it into a side hustle. I'm just going to start calling those a shh. You don't have to turn it into a shh. And you don't have to turn it into a business. You can do it because it's a wonderful thing to do. So you can come here because you want to do that, or you can come here if you want to turn it into a business and you want to know how it's done. So we've got the live version next week. We've got the online version coming just as soon as I've written all the materials and uploaded it. And then we've got another live one in March and another live one in August.
Where are you?
You mean, we're here. Where are we? We're going to be at SCENTHUSIASM.school when at the moment it says coming soon. We are in Hammersmith, London, W6, in the very room in which it takes place. And Why learn from us? Because we actually have a brand that sells worldwide. So I've done it. I can do it.
Yeah.
And I've thought through about how it is that I can do it so that I can help other people get the hang of it fairly quickly so that then they can get on their way.
Yeah.
It takes ages to be able to make the exact perfume that you want to make. But it doesn't take that long to be able to make something that smells good. As long as you just stick to some firm guidelines, don't faff around and don't waste too much deal. So basically you should come here if you want to stop faffing and take a relatively short, defined route to a way in which you can create things which are definitely wearable. Do you think that sums it up?
Yeah.
Okay, that sums it up.